When I think back to my childhood, there are certain memories that make me laugh no matter how much time has passed. One of those memories happened when I was about 11 years old, living in our small house in suburban Ohio. It was early autumn, and the air outside was getting crisp, the kind of weather where you want to curl up in a blanket and drink something warm. But that particular morning started out far from cozy. It started with chaos. And it all happened in the bathroom. My name is Jeremy, and I was just an average kid growing up with my mom, Kelly. She was a single mom, strong, funny, and always doing her best to make our lives feel full even though we didn't have much. Our house had one bathroom, and because of that, we had a pretty well-practiced morning routine to avoid stepping on each other's toes. But on that particular morning, everything went sideways. It was a school day, and I'd already hit snooze 3 times. Mom was already awake and making pancakes in the kitchen when I finally rolled out of bed. I shuffled into the hallway with my eyes half open and headed straight for the bathroom. As soon as I turned the doorknob, I heard my mom shout from the kitchen, "Jer, don't close that door too hard. It's been acting weird." But it was too late. I had already shut the door behind me. The moment the latch clicked, I heard a loud clunk from the inside, and when I tried to turn the knob again, it wouldn't budge. I rattled it once, twice, and then called out. "Mom," I said, a little sheepishly. "The doorknob isn't working." She sighed, and I could hear her footsteps quickly coming down the hallway. "I told you it was acting weird," she muttered as she tried the knob from the other side. "Hang on, Jeremy. Let me grab a screwdriver." At that point, I wasn't too concerned. I sat down on the edge of the tub, brushing my teeth lazily and watching the steam from the running hot water fog up the mirror. A few minutes passed. Then more. Eventually, I heard her fumbling with the screwdriver. "Mom," I called again, mouthful of toothpaste. "Is it working?" "Well," she said slowly, "not exactly. I think the inside mechanism is jammed. You might be stuck for a little bit." "Seriously?" I asked, trying not to panic. "Don't worry," she reassured me. "I'll figure it out." She went to grab more tools, and I sat back against the tiled wall, my feet dangling over the cold floor. It was still early, and now I was starting to worry I'd be late for school. And even more embarrassing, I hadn't finished getting dressed. I had on pajama pants and my old Star Wars t-shirt, the one with holes under the arms. No socks. No shoes. My hair looked like I'd lost a fight with a leaf blower. After another 10 minutes, Mom came back. "Okay," she said confidently. "We're going to try the credit card trick." I heard the card sliding into the crack between the door and the frame. There was some rustling, a grunt, and then a soft snap. Silence. "Mom?" I asked. "I broke my library card," she replied flatly. I could hear the frustration in her voice. That's when things got interesting. "I think I need to come in from the window," she said. My eyes widened. "Mom, the window is tiny." "I'm smaller than you think," she replied, clearly determined now. So I walked over and opened the tiny frosted glass bathroom window. Sure enough, after a minute or two, I saw the top of her head appear on the other side. She had tied a scarf around her hair and was wearing her gardening gloves for some reason. "Are you serious right now?" I asked, trying to suppress a laugh. "Do you want out or not?" she shot back. She squeezed, wiggled, and after a truly epic struggle that included one of her sneakers falling into the sink, she finally tumbled into the bathroom in a heap. We both just looked at each other for a long second, me standing there barefoot, holding a toothbrush, her crouched on the floor, covered in leaves from the garden hedge she'd had to crawl through. And then we burst into laughter. It was ridiculous. And it was us. Mom and Jeremy. Always figuring things out the hard way, but figuring them out together. After we stopped laughing, she got up and said, "Let's fix that door from the inside." It only took about 5 minutes once she was on my side. She unscrewed the knob from the inside and opened the door with a triumphant flourish. "Tardy, she said, bowing like a magician. I was only a few minutes late for school that day, and I had to explain why my hair looked like it had been blow-dried by a hurricane. But I didn't care. That morning became one of my favorite memories. Later that evening, Mom patched up the window screen and fixed the door properly with a new knob she picked up from the hardware store. I helped her screw it in and asked her if she ever considered becoming a handyman. She laughed. Nah. But when life traps you, you find a way through, even if it's the bathroom window. Years later, when I moved out for college, I remembered that moment. The ridiculousness, the teamwork, the laughter. It stayed with me because it was one of those little moments that perfectly captured who my mom was. Not perfect. Not polished. But present. Always willing to crawl through a window for her kid. Now I'm older, and I look back on that day with something deeper than amusement. I look back with gratitude. Because some of the most lasting love isn't in big, showy acts. It's in the small things. Like crawling through a window. Fixing a broken doorknob. Or laughing together on a cold bathroom floor.